everyone, and welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show.
So funny, I was like super empowered. I don't think I could sleep.
Still follows the same rules, has the same characters and all that stuff,
Yes.
but it just tweaks it a little bit.
You're reading fantasy, and it's so grounded. It's so completely grounded in reality.
Rule clarification, if we both get it wrong, do we get bonus points?
Soldier Simmons, it is my pleasure to now pin you, raising you from the rank of soldier to dedicated.
That didn't happen in the books, but it was awesome.
I nailed it.
I nailed that.
I nailed it. Let me bring you comfort about Egwene. I know you haven't seen her in a month, but let me tell you this story about how badass she is right now.
That fight scene, my boy went through 5 daggers.
Everybody's flower is different. I think we learned that in the books. This is I think for me, top 5 moments ever on screen.
When I read it, I felt empowered. I felt called to action.
One of the best quotes in the whole series is when Gaul says, "Do you like to dance, Baron Abara?"
The Knights Who Say Chill,
AKA the band of really, really nice good guys.
Let a couple more drip on.
You're saying everywhere.
I am.
Do you have a chaser should you need it?
Can I have a little bit of mine too?
Oh, no.
Yo, this is good.
Young people do like this now or something instead of this.
Oh, it's like this.
It's the heart emoji.
Don't jiggle, jiggle.
It folds. I like the way you wiggle, wiggle.
You
Oh,
wiggle.
show. We're going to review the entirety of season 1 of the Wheel of Time. The whole thing. Finale of Rings of Power. Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show! Hi. Welcome again to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are going to abbreviate the hell out of this introduction. This is Max Anthony, everybody's big brother from TikTok. You should find him and check him out. The link is in the description of this video. This is Winespring, who already introduced herself. She cooks amazing food. Winespring Cafe on X. You can find her food in the article section. Tavern, you didn't get to introduce yourself, so go ahead.
Hi, I'm Tavern. I make merch.
Okay, his links are also in the description of this video. You can see that he made this amazing Wheel and Chill logo that Winespring, him, and I are all wearing. We highly recommend the merch because it's fabulous.
My mug's over there. I'm not getting it.
Apologize.
Max is already yawning.
It's a day, I'm sorry.
I agree. It is a day. I've had issues uploading my reaction video to this finale, and now I've got high CPU usage for no reason. But everyone, never fear. We are only streaming on YouTube now to hopefully give my CPU a break, because whatever. Who knows? Okay, guys. Stupid CPU. All right. So, amazing. Let's start talking about the finale. So, Max.
Hello.
How would you describe the finale for your finale experience? How would you describe it?
It was a lot at one time. It felt a little too quick, to be honest. I couldn't really sit in it and feel it.
Okay.
Like the trial, everything like that. The entire time I was like, this is stupid. Why? What? Like, this is illogical. This makes no sense. People who are talking about all logic. I'm like, you're not being logical right now. At all. You know how she's acted this entire time. You know what her means are, and how she's been as an individual for the last who knows how long, 20 years, and you're choosing them right now because you're confused. Instead of going to them and actually asking them a question, you're just going to do this and then just watch them torture this person. That makes logical sense.
Okay. So not a fan of Alviarin.
not a fan of people who do things like that.
Okay. No, me either. So right there with
it.
it. So that, would you say the trial is the standout scenario, like situation from the finale for you?
I would say the very end was the more standout finale, because I was like, that was the, like, to the overall arcing story, that was technically like the most not technically most important part, because that was like the direct storyline, blah blah stuff. But everything about today was important. Everything about today was character building, story building, or character destroying.
Ah.
Yeah. I guess okay. So since we haven't talked to you since episode 7, real quick,
Been a little bit.
how'd you feel about Loyal's situation?
Can you be a little more specific? It has been a little bit since I've watched.
Sorry, the Ogier, Loyal, with the hammer in the ways.
It was the moment I heard like him do like the whole like low grunt the song. I'm like, oh, something's about to happen. Something. I'm not gonna lie. I was really hoping it'd be some like epic fight thing to like that happening, but it was still very like it was a lot. It was very impactful. And as someone who loved him as an individual, as a character, I would have loved seeing some weird like him falling through it last second somewhere else kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Later on, that'd be great. I doubt it. I doubt it's gonna happen, but I would have. As someone who loves his character, I would.
I had a whole chart on that actually.
Yeah, your Tavern is right there with you with that.
I had a whole chart.
But I would.
Since we started the stream so quickly, I would like to remind everyone to please keep book spoilers out of the chat until we go full spoilers at the end of the stream. We're going to talk to Max, who is a show-only person. Then we're going to talk to Cousin Maggie, who's a show-only person, and then we'll go full book spoilers. So until then, please be patient. Sorry.
I think we found a culprit, by the way. Not all who wander are lost says, "Be nice to me, or I'll do that again."
What?
Hey, brother, take it easy on me, okay? It's been a rough day already.
I had someone text me yesterday about like moment I read Wheel of Time, I just closed the message. I was like, I don't know what you're about to say. I watched the episode today before the thing. I was like, well, you're not gonna spoil it before I watch the last episode because I wanted to watch.
Not allowed.
I always want to watch the last thing, the newest thing, right before the live. That always the most fresh in my brain, and I can just be right there with it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's
Yeah.
good self-control.
Avoiding spoilers for that. I thought I was done for trying to wait until Thursday evening, like less than 24 hours. I kept instinctively, which is a problem, trying to open up X and then being like, no, get it, stop it. And I didn't get spoiled, but oh my gosh, it was really hard.
Especially with Tavern in your DMs.
Hey, one time that happened.
Okay, so the end, the most impactful part. There were a couple things that happened sort of midway that I found relatively impactful as well. Was Nynaeve breaking her block and Matt.
So that was a full break. That definitely it looked like it could have been, but it was hard to very like it the way she went back and heard her kid, like heard her child's voice and like kind of had like breathe like she was. It kind of felt like she was her own mother in that moment, walking her through it.
Wow.
Like what she needed to hear, because it was her own voice and she was following her own instruction, which I thought was very interesting. Like you could dive into the whole we grow into the person we need as a child thing.
That's amazing.
But it was definitely I really enjoyed watching just when everything erupted and the water splits and just the like the raw emotion. It was like extremely well done. The emotion she showed and the acting was phenomenal. It was absolutely fantastic, which I love the show. Sometimes it's not always the best acting. That was a great moment. That was a great moment when it comes to like actually feeling human. And it was really nice.
The big smile of relief at the end when she like
Oh,
gets back onto the shore. And
the look on her face was really, you could tell. I mean, for me, that was what gave it away that it was a full break. Was the final look on her face? And it was pretty good.
I guess it kind of makes sense. Like the whole they're talking about whenever you get severed from it, you can't really feel as well. So I guess her getting it back or breaking her severance, her personal severance, I guess would make her feel it again. Which is
somebody put on, I don't know which social media platform today. They had a side-by-side meme of her and Jean Cade when she lost her warders, and it was almost the same face, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yikes!
It was pretty funny,
pretty brutal, pretty brutal. So I guess, I can't say for certain that this is Nynaeve breaking her block. I have a feeling the showrunner did an interview that said that was what was happening, but obviously that's external to the show. But in the books, that's how it works. Is like once it's broken, it's broken. Like it's just fizzled, gone. Yeah. So are you relieved? Are you relieved that her block is broken?
Oh, of course. She's been an incredible character and a wonderful person this entire show. There's not a single thing she's done that I can remember that is a negative. Most people in the show have done at least one selfish thing. I haven't really seen her do much. Like, not really. And the most selfish thing she might have done was while in the 3 gates, wanting to actually have that be reality. But that's not selfish. That's human.
It's so human. Yeah, she's. I love her in the show. I think 100%. She's so much. In the books, she gets on my nerves a little bit. That
she does.
Don't come for me, Chad. But
she is perfect. But
wow.
Actually,
here we go.
But in the show, she is perfect. You're right. Yes. So I'm just saying.
There was a lot of new characters, new situations. The archway thing that I still am very interested to see where that goes. Dude acted like
Tell me more.
Thing acted like, I don't know what it was. Acted like a gen. Dude said he smelled like he smelled like death, which was very interesting. Like, I'm not sure if that's some kind of deity or some kind of god. Maybe that was trapped or something. No idea. Just full guesses here. It was very interesting. 3 things he wished for. One of the things that was payment was 2 others. No idea about. I mean, he says he doesn't remember things, but he did mention it wasn't just clear cut those memories. It was just memories as of what we've taken. So that still might not be the penalty. That might just be part of what he said. That sucks though. That little moment, because he's literally like, I don't even know what's happening here. Like,
yeah, like so, it's very like Jin though. It's very much like tricky. I don't know. I think.
And you could see people like who died there, so they made their wishes, and then were like, like they were trapped there. So you could see like that little aspect of it, which is very interesting. Him even saying you were clever for saying to leave.
Wise to ask leave taking.
Yep.
Yeah, but he also didn't know anything. He was like, but you didn't say anything about, like, you didn't bargain for what the price was going to be. You didn't bargain for this. I'm like, he didn't know how to. Where's the sign?
Yeah. There's no sign that says don't pee in the pool or anything. There's like nothing.
Right? Blue dye wasn't my fault. I don't.
Oh no.
So would you be surprised that the foxes, the eelfin in the show, practical effects almost completely?
Yeah.
I would be. I either way, I would have been like, it was done really well. Either way, if it was a person did it or if it was full practical effects, it was done extremely well. The fact that it was practical effects is honestly surprising because everything about it was pretty on point.
Actually, when I first saw him, like the close up, it almost looked like Donald at first with fur on. No, like seriously, like his facial structure was very similar.
It's actually it's the same guy that did one of the orcs in Rings of Power.
I found out later. Yeah.
That's cool.
So, a guy who's used to having a bunch of weird stuff on his face and still slaying
he was killing it. And if they had to put him in those shoes, holy hell.
I thought it was
immediately.
Oh my god, yeah, like they look like platform hoofs.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was wild.
Yeah, pretty cool though.
Was it jarring at all for you?
Oh yeah.
Good question. Which part particularly? Was anything like shocking to me jarring? What do you mean by particular this version of jarring?
So as far as like watching the Wheel of Time, the world of the Wheel of Time, did this look like that at all?
I mean, yes.
Or did it seem out of place at all?
I mean, everything seemed right. Nothing felt weird, if that's what you mean. Like nothing felt really gross. It was a few things that I'm curious about, like him saying, "I wish the one power, like maybe if the one power never existed," or something about the one power thing. But then nothing actually happened after that, so I don't even know what's.
Where he says, I wish that anything that could cast.
That's what it was. Because it affects me. That's cool.
Keeps throwing it at me or whatever. Protect me from that.
That was. I just thought about you saying that again means that
you didn't catch anything that came about from that.
Well, how would he?
Is that what you said? No. He just said.
I originally thought maybe he meant something like. It was a lot happening at one time, so I kind of crossed a few wires when it comes to that. Earlier, like outside of it, he was like, "What if it never existed?" But then, and the thing he just said about himself, which I forgot that happened. So I'm actually really excited to see what's gonna show that nothing can.
Yeah. They haven't shown everything, which is awesome. That was really cool. Yes. I loved that whole interaction between the two of them for that part.
I loved Elaine coming back around and ambushing because in this entire show, it's been very illogical when it comes to like certain like maneuvers and fighting things and like distraction tactics. So to see like an actual tactical choice like that happen and work, it was like, oh, cool. Yay.
We love a flank.
I'm a very logical person. So when it comes to like them bringing a book and making it into a show, sometimes certain things are spacing, timing, fight scenes. I'm very like,
All right. You said you're a fan of logical things. It has been very illogical, and I agree with you. And what she did to me is illogical. Not that she came back, not the part where she came back, but the fact that anytime somebody has the upper hand on this freaking show and they can take somebody out, they stun them instead. Kill somebody.
Oh.
You know, she could have taken her out.
I mean, Elaine definitely killed somebody.
No, she did, but I'm saying from the initial blow. I'm talking about the initial blow. She knocked her down. She could have just taken her out. Lanfear comes out and attacks Moraine. Could have just taken her out.
I guess, yeah. I guess she's not beholden to the oaths, and even if she was, it seems like dark friends are included.
I don't understand it. But anyways, sorry, the logic.
Maybe she doesn't have, like, the weave for decapitation, you know? She's still unaccepted. So
she could just fill her up with beer or something, drown her in beer.
One of Elaine's great skills.
Yeah, one of her great skills.
So when it comes to Elaine's ambush, Max, she used balefire, right? And Jean was like, "Let's see what balefire does to a person."
That was a great liner.
Yeah, did it? Was it clear to you what balefire does to a person?
It did some. It was some kind of time alteration thing. Like whatever they just did, it like reversed it within a certain amount of time, or perhaps their use of the item itself. It wasn't really 100% clear, but it definitely like. Their physical body evaporated. It looked like almost their soul kind of went back and like reversed what it did, and then. But I have absolutely no idea.
Good job. No, you caught it.
Oh, cool.
Good job.
Well done. That was pretty much the gist. Yeah. Depends on how powerful it is, how far it rewinds things back in time. But yeah, you pretty much nailed it.
Can't wait to see what terrible cataclysmic thing happens. They just say, "Cool." Whoop.
And for the nerds out in the chat, that was 10 seconds of rewind.
This sounds terrible, but I'm just waiting for some ultra powerful thing where someone passes away and everyone like links arms, grabs a staff, and goes back 3,000 years. And like cool. Let's not do that thing and cause everything to go terribly.
Okay.
Well, imagine it's the ending. I would lose my mind if that was the ending. You know, the last 3,000 years.
Okay.
It's the next like, oh, it's all been just a dream. It's like, actually, we can reverse time.
Man, that is my new favorite thing in the whole world. That idea is my new favorite thing ever.
I wouldn't even hate it, to be honest. I'd be like, you know what? Fair. Let's.
Jose Oliveira in the chat says, "Be kind, rewind."
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
There was so much to unpack.
I know. I'm trying to just
can we talk about the about Rand's encounter at the very end? There was a lot with Rand at the very end that yes, there was a lot with that I thought was very interesting. So first thing, I'm guessing fighting or any kind of like harming of other people is like fully off limits here. Is that right? Is that like a sacred thing?
Yeah. It's a sacred place.
Yeah, they're very full of sacred places in the waste.
I mean, hey, it makes sense. You know, some safe grounds kind of important when it comes to wasteland. Yeah. His entire character today has been very. He's acting like a psychopath. He's acting like a pure like psychopath. There's no positive emotion. It just seems very like judgmental. Me, my thoughts. Oh, we're on the same. We want the same thing. Like very.
I'm about to give you a cup of Kool-Aid. Is that where we're going?
Oh no!
Like the poison? What do you mean? Like
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's losing his shit. Like, oh, yeah, no, we're on this. We're thinking the same thing. Here's a cup.
He's he's been very like. He hasn't gone mad. He just seems very detached, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah.
Almost like this is what madness is in that world. Like for him, because like the dark ones aren't crazy or mad. They just have a different thought process.
So do you think this is a progression for him? Like he has changed into this new psychopathic seeming dude?
It might be. Whenever Little One was lost last episode, you saw him literally break a bit. You literally saw him like go through like, which a lot of us have gone through, like you're going through so much, you just kind of start laughing because you're kind of just like, like you're
breaking.
Definitely trauma response.
I definitely had the fact I'm working towards becoming a firefighter EMT. I'm not gonna lie, seeing the thing happen and then him walking over it not working. I'm like, it should have worked. It should have worked. I'm like, you had like less like you had like a whole minute to even get like the oxygen back to the brain. It'll been fine. Any broken things been fixed. Like, what do you mean? It's fine. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
But that's just again, that's the reality part of me. I'm like, if CPR works, this whole amazing this crazy like the one power will definitely work.
Okay.
But you seeing him break like that, there are a few things like with Lagrange being like, very cold, but almost like I don't know how to describe it besides like the mindset of very selfish, very like manipulative, very like
sociopathic?
Yes, but like this is like a term in a relationship when someone manipulates the other person a lot because they feel blah blah blah. What's
gaslighting or
yes, but like there's a term for a certain the person like the person.
Narcissist?
A narcissist.
Thank you,
yeah.
narcissist.
Yeah.
He definitely gave off like me vibes, which is very interesting. I did absolutely freaking love his speech when it comes to, like his ability and saying like how everything related, like how I'm gonna destroy and live, and anyone who's against me is gonna get destroyed. Like how it was given and how it was. Oh, that was well done. That was such a well written speech. Oh my goodness.
So he had a conversation with Moraine before because I agree with you. By the end of the episode, he was like scaring me. Basically, Rand was. But before that, he had a conversation with Moraine that to me, I felt like it was very touching. Do you think that was still manipulative?
The Rand Moraine conversation?
Yeah, it's when he thanked Moraine and like acknowledged that she had been there with him the whole time and stuff like that.
That's one of the things I was talking about when it comes to him being like very cold. Like it didn't feel like emotion or like a genuine thing. It felt distant.
Okay.
To be fair, I think for me, it felt as if his thought process, right? He actually started seeing her for what she was, which was a brilliant tactician.
Oh,
right.
So it's
and
like
that
game
he was
recognizes game.
Yeah, game no, yeah, because he's like, oh, so you set this up and you did this and you knew about this, and it was all to get me to the last battle, so that whatever. And she's like, no, don't get me wrong, I would have stabbed you in the neck. And he was like, yeah,
cold. He was kind of cold about it too, which was very.
You could actually see you could almost see it in his eyes, going, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of a game respects game thing.
Okay.
And I think it opens up the relationship a little bit.
It'll be very interesting to see where that goes.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
The very, very, very end way he looks back and looks towards Egwene and just very cold. Like I was watching it, I'm like, he like if he was still good, he would end it. He didn't end it.
But he didn't.
I was like, great.
So you're nervous about
like,
Rand going into the next season. He's scaring you a little bit.
Yeah, I did the whole Moraine fight. I thought was very interesting because whenever it was like a very quick like instantly to choke, instantly. I'm like if that's literally how they do that, that's really like I hope that that's not the actual ending because like if that's the actual like ending of this character, that's so terrible. Like that's just not there's nothing here. It's just pew. That's like what where's the drama? And then they kept going and then it showed the impaling and I was like, okay, that was a lot of back and forth that makes sense. And then it was like overwhelming one power use of the item to use all those things. The only thing I will say is the fact that she had the orb that entire time and was still losing. I'm like, I'm sorry, this other person used the orb and built all of that. I'm pretty sure you can overpower her. I'm like, you have this like boss tier legendary item that amplifies you to the point that you felt you were going to explode an episode earlier.
Yeah.
But today you can't even beat. Really?
It did get knocked out of her hands at the beginning.
Yeah.
Remember
the non-lethal
she got it back.
shot?
She did. She got it back. No, you're right. You're right.
Hail before. Yeah, she got impaled with it in her hand still.
Yeah. Okay, so this fight, it was bookended or juxtaposed. I don't know what the word is with the trial with Swan.
Yes.
And so you said the end of the episode kind of hit the hardest for you. It's the most impactful. Whenever Swan died, did it like register with you what happened with Moraine?
Oh yeah, it was just overwhelming emotion. It was like she there was that connection was there. I'm curious, is this connection they have the same as her connection with
Lan?
Like, yeah, like how is these connections different when it comes to?
That's a good question.
Because I know you can do that. So what? Yeah.
So in season 1, do you remember whenever Moraine was banished and she swore on the oath rod to like obey Swan
interesting.
So in the episode, as Swan dies, you can see this like kind of weave coming off of Moraine. That's the oath dissipating off of her. It's the oath breaking. So that's how she knew Swan had died.
Yeah, and it was really cool because they used the same effect of the white
twirly,
the white lines in the circles.
Yeah.
They used the same effect for both, which was really good.
It was so, to me, just like it broke my heart. Did you cry? I'm curious, or was it just more of a matter of fact kind of a situation for you, Max?
This episode was so overwhelming with so much different content that I couldn't feel enough. I couldn't get into it enough to actually feel like what was going on.
Agreed.
Just getting hit.
It was instant thing after thing after thing after thing, and it never lets you sit in any feelings or sit in any emotions.
It's funny, an observation that I got from this episode, exactly that, because I said it earlier, I think it was before the stream, but that I didn't really feel the emotional, hits when different people died.
Yeah.
And I actually thought about that for a while because of what happened on Thursday. But we told you about this. I'm not bringing it back up. I started thinking about it, and I think it has to do with the fact that the show has desensitized us with so much death. Like, we saw Moraine die so many times, and we've seen everybody stabbed and come back to life, or stab and not die. It's so by the time we get to people actually dying, you're like, oh, yep, they're gone.
Well, I wasn't like that. Some of us, though.
Maybe it's just me.
I really wish that it biggest thing in shows like this is making sure you can get everything, and some people like have to put it within a certain period of time. I'm not sure what the rules are when it comes to like it has to be under this amount of time or things like that, but I honestly really wish that they would have been like, okay, last episode of the season, the literal owner of Amazon is the one who loves this. I'm sure he would say, let's just add 20 minutes to make it feel better.
Hour and a half. Yeah.
But like, I feel like you definitely could have added like just a little bit of breather in between things, just having you like sit there like seeing the thing happen, like the quick like show of like the decapitation. Like, I feel like we could have done more with that, or like have like a slower pull out of it happening to then having her do like little things like that, which should have let us actually feel the moment a little bit more, besides instant switch. Yeah.
So do you think land fear, we're like 5 minutes to go. This is
I know,
so
I'm
fast.
trying to
I'm so sorry. Do you think land fear is dead?
No.
Okay. She went through the gateway.
Yeah. If it came back in next season and it just shows her dead, I'll be like, okay, that was kind of pointless. Like, why
have her die in the desert?
We're playing a Dobby over here. I'm not happy about this. Okay.
Okay.
So we see Leandrin speaking with Maggedian, especially at the end. They've exchanged bracelets. Now they have the collar. Leandrin wants to be a Forsaken.
I had thoughts. I think she's just very, very broken. I think it's really what it is. I think it just shows that you're becoming more.
Which
and more
one?
All of them.
Leandrin, I believe.
Leandrin, yeah.
Just becoming more and more broken throughout the entire thing. Let's be honest. If she wanted to kill Nynaeve, she would have just killed Nynaeve. The fact that she threw under the water and kind of never actually watched it happen and then kind of left without actually confirming the death, considering she's been very big on confirming deaths this entire show. Some part of her doesn't seem to actually want her to fully go. Or that's kind of what I'm.
You don't think that she, at any point, that she was like, maybe, oh, I know this one can't channel, so whoop, into the water?
I think the entire time she's been very like when she wants someone dead, she just kills them. Just
like,
kills them.
Bullet to the brain, basically.
Like, she even said, like, I get to be the person who's killed the most powerful channel in the last 1,000 years. If she really felt that way and felt like that, haha, about it, she would have made a show of it. She would have made an actual show of it.
So what you're saying is people are not following through on kills when they should.
Ha ha ha. What I was saying was there's a possibility that while she's very, very broken, there's a part of her that actually still is just in mourning and is taking it out in the worst way possible.
Do you see her becoming a Forsaken? Do you think Moghedian will like help her?
She doesn't get. She's way too pleading with it. She's very like she's giving off very like I'm powerful, but she's saying she's powerful. She's saying, "Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that." She's not giving it off. She's not showing it. She's just saying it. She's saying basically, "Please do this for me." She's not demanding it. She's not earning it. She's just asking for it.
Okay.
So I have a relationship question for you. Not the same people, but was it surprising to you that this, odd man or one-time character in season 1 shows up again in season 3 and knows the daughter heir of Andor?
Yeah, I did see that. That was the way she looked at me. Either that was like, okay, so either is this her dad? Is this the uncle? Is this like there's so many tropes. Like there's so many like you don't know me, but I know you.
Oh, you said the word.
You said the word.
You said the word.
Okay,
we're getting canceled. That's it.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
There are a lot of things where it's like Protector sees someone that doesn't know them, looks at them longing for 2 seconds, and then ends up being either the long lost dad or like the uncle or the exile Protector that was like that has to be secret about it, like how Moraine was like secret about their entire thing. Like there's just like this kind of happen more commonly. I don't know which thing this is going to be. Obviously, he didn't pass away, he didn't die, so we'll probably touch more into it and actually figure out what that connection is, which will be fun, will be cool. I did want to touch into the whole the dreamscape thing, and when he calls when he calls her a monster. Can we please be tactical for 2 seconds?
No, it's not a thing. It's not a thing they know how to do.
Like honestly, when it comes to she is in love with you for the last 3,000 years. You look like a guy she loved, and you have the soul of another guy she loved. Like literally everything she wants. Can you just for 2 seconds pretend like get that soul back? Get that soul back you had 2 episodes ago, and just pretend a little bit.
Just play along.
It's not great. It's not great to manipulate people, but when it comes to saving the world, and people being slaughtered, you can probably manipulate a little bit.
What should he have done? What should he have done?
Played along, not pretending like don't call her a monster, don't make her actively want to kill you.
Don't break up with her.
Yeah, don't.
It's not like
don't
he
break
hasn't
the heart of someone who's
been
this
with her.
strong and against you. Yeah.
Maybe he's pushing her.
It's not like he hasn't been with her already.
He's been with her a lot and was with her two episodes ago.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's?
Well, they were all expecting her to chase him back, right?
Yeah,
that was the
they were
plan,
expecting her
was
to
off.
lose her shit and immediately come attack. Yes,
True.
Calls
So
her
I guess
to
that was
flip out.
that
was the only tactical thing that they did in the entire episode, and it was wrong.
Tried to bait her, and she didn't take the bait.
No, she didn't take it.
She's not. She said, "Okay, cool, let's do this." Like,
nope.
Oh, you know who we haven't talked about yet, and I don't know if you weren't hit by this, then just say that and we could talk about something else. But Lan and Melindra, were you surprised?
Yeah. I think that was a beautiful sacrifice. I think it was really sad that it had to happen. But I think it shows that she's, no matter what she's done in the past, she holds true to what the reason why she did. Most people who have been seeking power and has done these dark things for a reason, it's really been simply for power. They just give these excuses. She actually did it for that reason. And it shows by her being willing to sacrifice her own self and her life to show that, to prove it, to have that actually be it. Like, I can't kill you. You are literally everything I'm trying to protect.
Somebody was upset that they were complaining that they were like, how are you going to sneak up on somebody to kill them? You got a spear to their back, but you're making noise. And I was like, she did it on purpose.
Yeah.
What are you?
Oh,
they were
hangry.
hangry.
Wanted to be stopped. Yeah,
they were hangry.
Oh, okay. I didn't even think about that. But
I do wish they actually. That was one of the things I wish they kind of held on a little bit longer, because her death felt.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like much happened. It was felt like I'm supposed to do this. I didn't want to. You're everything. Death. Like I really wish they just, I don't know. Like in the past episode they done really well. Maybe it was a lighting thing, maybe it's a slow thing, maybe it's a rhythm thing. They made it very emotional, and they kind of didn't have that for a lot of today, which happens.
Okay.
We actually got to see.
things?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Let's
Winespring.
do one more
Last
question,
thing.
Winespring, and then we're
Okay,
swapping.
I'll close it out.
Then
Last
we've got
question.
Maggie. Hi, Maggie.
We
Nice to
see
you. What are you doing?
Elida. We see Elida come through a red door frame. Did you catch that? As maybe the same door frame that Matt also went through?
When? Wait, sorry. You.
So Elida at the very beginning, when it was like
Okay.
10 years ago or something like that, I think.
Oh.
She
at the very
is
beginning,
leaving a door
all over.
frame and she has a bracelet.
That's what that was. Okay.
Oh.
I remember like her leaving the door, having the bracelet and then like walking through, but I just kind of figured she just took something from there. I think I looked up. I think I might have like looked up when I missed the doorway thing, but I remember her having the bracelet and all that stuff, but did not catch that. I'm very interested in seeing how that goes. Made the deal. Oh, made the deal. You can't trust Blank to hold on to their deals. Interesting. Okay. Cool. No
Yay,
things to think about
worth
now.
the moment. Awesome. Yeah.
Okay, Max.
All right,
This has been an absolute
I'll be right back,
blast.
guys.
You are welcome to say your famous last words, whatever you want to say to sign
Famous
off.
last words.
Whatever. We hope to have you back, but for this stream, the floor is yours for your famous last words.
Let's hope that these last words continue next season.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you.
Loved being here, loved the experience, loved talking about this, had a great time the entire time, the last 2 months basically, and look forward to hopefully doing this with y'all again. Thanks for the experience. Thanks for convincing me to watch the show and to really get into it. I promise not to touch the books for the next 5 years until everything comes out.
I was gonna say it's gonna be longer than that, but
Maybe 10.
Cool. 10 years? Dang, that's a lot for okay. Cool.
that's an overdue
The more
library book
seasons,
right
the
there.
better.
I mean, yes, more seasons, but I'm like, time for it. It's fine. Y'all have fun with the rest of your night. Talking
Thank
about
you
this
so much.
stuff. Cannot wait to hear more in the future and all the good stuff. All the love. Hasta
Okay.
luego. Peace
Bye,
out.
Bye,
Max.
Max.
Thank
Everybody
you.
saying thank you.
Bye, Max.
Peace.
Yay.
He's so much fun.
Okay, bringing Maggie on now.
What up, Maggie?
Maggie? What's up?
Hi.
Everybody say
Hey.
hi to Maggie in chat, please.
And say thank you to Max also.
They have been.
Oh
There's
well,
been a bunch
sorry,
of
I've been busy.
No,
Like,
you're good. Yes, they have been.
my apologies. You know what I haven't said yet? Thank you to chat for being here. You guys are amazing.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it's tick by, and never forget that if you have questions, pop them in the chat.
Yeah, one of us will
so-
see it.
Yeah, one of us will
Hopefully.
see it.
Yeah.
Maggie, how are you? Good. Okay. It looks like your audio is working, so that's a positive. And so really quickly, so we can dive right into the episode. This is Maggie. She's my cousin. We call her Cousin Maggie on all of our advertisements. We've had her for we had her for the trailer and for episode 5, 6. Doesn't matter. One of them.
She remembers.
One of them, yeah. And now she's back for the finale. So, do you want to introduce yourself in any other way, or do you want to just dive into the episode?
I have never read the books.
Maggie has never read
There's
the
that.
books. So, friendly reminder to those in the chat: no book spoilers. Yes,
Yeah,
Joe
no book
White, you are
spoilers.
correct. No book spoilers. Everybody in the chat say, "Hi, Maggie." Landfierce Bo says, "Hi, Maggie." Okay, Maggie.
Yeah.
Initial reaction / vibes from the finale.
I think this is gonna sound negative. I don't want it to sound negative,
Say
but
whatever you want. No,
like maybe underwhelmed.
Dark friend
Whoa.
dark friend from the get-go.
No,
I love it.
no.
She's allowed to have
Oh,
her
no.
opinion. What?
I'm so
what,
sorry.
What was
you're
underwhelming about
fine.
it? What were the drawbacks?
I think the first two finales were like left me in such suspense, and this one I was just kind of like, okay. And then I literally went. I was like, I think there must be another episode that I forgot to watch. Is there another
no.
one? Are we? So I just didn't feel. I don't know, but I think part of that is probably that I didn't understand the significance of what was happening. Like
Okay.
him being declared the Karin or whatever. I've only been attached to that for 6 episodes. I don't really care about that. I care about it, but
Okay.
I don't think I understand the full significance having not read 4 books talking about it or however long it was talked about, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't super invested in whether he became the Karakarn or not, essentially.
I guess, or like it just didn't seem as monumental as the last two finales, which were
Do you think there's
obviously like
Do you think
finale.
there's a bias from you since you don't like Rand?
I would never. Like I thought the tower was so cool. Like
It was cool.
that seemed monumental, and even like in this season, I saw so many other things that seemed more significant and like finale worthy, like the rings thing, like that whole. I'm like, that was such a cool episode, so like epic.
No.
And I guess this one for me just didn't feel, especially coming off of Perrin's episode, which was like epic. And I'm just like, oh, like it tied up a few things, but I don't know. It didn't leave me in as much as of like, oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what happens next as the last two have.
Wow. Okay. So what would you say your like favorite part about the finale was? Like your favorite plot, your favorite thing that happened, anything?
Oh, Moraine. That was so cool.
Full stop. Moraine, period.
So
you mean the fight at the end?
Yeah, it was so good.
Everything.
It was,
That was a
and
good
like
fight.
Lan and all of it. That was just what I needed.
What do you
Because
think
I
about
don't
the
know how
Moraine
things are
Rand
gonna.
moment?
Oh, I really liked that too. I wondered. I was like, oh no, is he gonna like ask to be her warder? I don't know how that works or what's gonna happen. That whole thing seemed. I really liked that it seemed like he really understood, like she's the only one with the exact same motive as him. And that was really cool.
Okay. Finally come to some a little bit of closure when it comes to, honestly, when that conversation happened, I was like, oh, they're definitely killing Moraine. Because I thought it was like enough closure that was what they were setting up.
They've set it up enough.
Yeah.
For all kinds
And
of
I don't
people.
entirely understand. Do we know she's not dead?
Moraine? No, I guess not.
We're not. It's up in the air.
Yeah, she's
'Cause,
wounded
like,
desperately.
Who would heal her?
True.
Right.
True, but I mean, we've also seen Alana with a blue whale harpoon through her chest survive. I mean,
You make a good point.
so that's why I'm like, it's up in the air right now. I don't know.
So I assume you think that based on, well, what do you think about Lanfear? Is she done for, or is she sticking around? No, she'll be back.
She like disappeared into the beyond. I think she's
Into the beyond.
Well, when I think about the first time that Moraine like slit Lanfear's throat and then she's like, she'll be back and runs away, I'm like, so that's gonna be one of those situations.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jesus AW in the chat says it was but a scratch for Alana.
Tis a mere flesh wound.
Yeah,
Tis a mere flesh wound. Yeah.
Scratched by a dragon's talon.
Okay, Dr. Reed 199 super chat. Thank you so much. Is Maggie sending a secret message? Lan Stan ? Do you enjoy Lan? Is he up there in your favorite
Wait,
character?
what?
Are you a Lan Stan? Do you enjoy Lan? Is he?
Oh, is that? No, that's just happened to be there.
Oh, the secret! Oh my gosh!
Again.
The golden crane. The golden,
golden
goose
crane.
crane.
It's the same spot.
Golden goose crane.
That's the first thing
He
I
just
noticed.
lives there. Mhm.
I didn't even think that's what you were talking
No,
about.
but I did love that we finally got the like only line of his that I know from the books
Oh,
in this
Which
episode.
one?
Well, but he didn't even say it, right?
yeah, I know what she's talking about.
Oh yeah.
I don't,
Melinda
so-
said it.
The duty is heavier than a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honor or whatever. Death is light as a feather.
Death is lighter. I assume that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh! And the reason you know it is because of the onesie that you made for the baby dragon. She made a onesie for the baby dragon that said "duty" DOODY.
Oh my gosh.
That's
You're
amazing.
amazing. Yeah. That's great.
I didn't entirely understand its significance, but then when that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, the only
There it
thing I've
is.
ever recognized from this show. And it's because of a onesie.
And it had to do with poop. So yeah.
Right.
So,
Correct.
You know what are we
So,
gonna do?
not
love
that
us-
we
we love
shouldn't
some
keep
puns.
talking about feces. What did you think about the red door frame situation with
Oh
Matt?
yeah.
Yes.
He walked through a door
I-
frame and he arrived somewhere different.
Yeah, I immediately recognized that from the beginning, but I don't know
good
the
job,
significance
yeah.
of it
Okay.
because I didn't understand whenever she came out and she was like, not very many people have come out of this door frame or whatever. And I was like, So then that made me wonder, would he come back out? It seemed like a trying to compare it to a different book or something, but it seemed like some sort of a like 1-for-1, you get your free wish, which I kind of got that again whenever
Oh, it's like the beginning
who
of
got thrown
Aladdin.
into water.
Oh, Nighty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I got like 2 Aladdin references. I was like, she looks just
Yeah.
like Aladdin when he floated down.
That's
in
what
the
it
water,
was.
And then the genie,
Oh my
he's gonna like
God.
rub the lamp. Yeah, it's like,
forgot
man.
about
And then
that.
this happened, and I was like, we've got some. I don't think they were trying to reference Aladdin, but
No, I doubt it. But yeah, no, you were saying where he walks in and may not come back was a very Aladdin thing at the very beginning when the first people went in to get the genie or the treasure and they never made it back out.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Good reference.
Very much Aladdin vibes.
But I don't know what the significance of that little archway was. And I don't think I really knew what that building was that they were in, because I was like, why is this here in this building with like a Land of Forgotten Toys vibe room? And
Right?
Yeah, they
like,
said
there's
like
this archway.
a couple times, like, we're gonna go to the Panarch's palace, and like there were like 3 guards, and we didn't see a Panarch, so it could have just been a random warehouse for all we know.
Yeah.
Um,
It was pretty rickety too. It wasn't like a
was.
palace.
Yeah.
granted, I guess Tanchico was pretty sketchy, so
That's
you wouldn't
true.
expect the palace to be that nice.
Like a minor. It's like a minor palace. It's almost. It's like,
Oh my gosh, Jose
a
Oliveira,
large
you've
building.
never had a fin like me. Good one. Good one.
job.
I,
That was
it
good.
wasn't.
Love it.
It wasn't, but
That
thank
was
you.
really well done.
So Hopper from Theoryland asked, does Maggie have any thoughts on the Finn's costuming? Did you notice anything weird about the outfit?
The who? Oh,
Sorry, the
that
Finn,
the
the
thing
fox.
that was through that archway.
Yeah.
Everything about it was weird.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't know. Was it animal?
Excellent.
Was it human? That was my initial question.
Awesome.
And what is happening was my second question.
Yeah, it's good.
I have no clue.
Okay.
It
At any
seemed,
point-
but really, all of the outfits in Tanchico seemed weird. Like Matt's outfit, I was like, can we please find a different outfit? Like, I could not
Yeah, it's big
take it
bird
seriously. I
Listen.
just-
did at any point when you saw the Finn, did at any point the song Starman cross your mind? Like
Starman?
David Bowie.
That's
you know
pretty
David
funny.
Bowie?
David Bowie for
did
sure.
not,
There's
but
a
I don't.
Starman. Anyways,
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because basically, that's what I saw when I saw the Finn. I thought of Ziggy Stardust,
Okay.
I see
which
it
was
too.
a David Bowie persona. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think I might be maybe a hair too young for that, and I think
Wow.
Maggie is even younger than me, so I don't know that she knows
You think
what you're talking
David
about.
Bowie, what?
I know who David Bowie is, but I don't. This
Gonna
reference.
pick him out of a lineup, probably.
Oh my
Right there
god.
with ya.
It
Wow.
matters who else was in that lineup. I might get.
Oh,
Oh man.
I have
I'm
been.
sorry. I'm just being
wow.
honest.
It was pretty
Wow.
good. It was pretty good.
Okay, so
I can't.
let's see. We talked about this. We didn't get to talk much about Moghedian with Max. So, how are you feeling about our Forsaken girly with the mini bangs, the micro bangs?
Gosh, she's wild, man.
Yeah.
She is wild.
She's. What I think is interesting is I kind of thought in the very beginning, all the Forsaken had a similar idea of what to do. Like they were on the same team. That's become abundantly clear that that's not true at all.
No.
And her whole like, I need to figure out how to kill one of us thing was super creepy. And
Yeah.
then her seeming to like just maybe want to use Leandrin right now, that seemed to track for her personality, but she's so good at being like innocuous and but also creepy because you know who she is, but
Yeah.
when she just like slips into scenes and slips out.
Well, I mean,
I can think she's a little too crazy to actually accomplish her goal.
So
Okay.
how did you feel about her? How did you feel about her play date with Samael? When she snuck into the
Forsaken
cave
that
where
was
the other
captured.
Forsaken was tied up.
And you see him
Oh
later,
yeah,
like
she
hanging
like
by
put all
his
the like
innards.
spider webs out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was gross.
Yeah, it was
Super
gross.
It was kind of gnarly. Yeah.
Jeffrey Bogman, I don't not like Bowie. I'm just not terribly familiar. That's my thing.
Which I don't know which is worse, to be honest.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so if you had to, like, this is a question we didn't ask anybody. If you had to, like, rank the Forsaken or, like, call out any of the Forsaken for being, like, more or less intimidating / effective, like, if you had to pick the number one Forsaken right now, would they call that the Nay Bliss? Who would you pick?
Who would you put in charge?
Yeah, if you were the dark one, which I know you would never. You would never. But if you were, who would you put in charge?
That's a great question. I feel like Lanfear, just because she's done the most and she's been around longer than what the other three like released later, she has the most knowledge of Rand. The other two like don't even know him. I feel like they haven't like spent time with him. So she would be the best pick for familiarity. But that one Lil Bangs chick, she is super creepy. And I feel like she has a good idea, but she might not end up like executing it very well. But she seems to have thoughts and a plan.
Okay.
And I don't know enough about that guy.
Robin,
which one? Robin, the one that showed up with her? Or no, showed up with Lanfear, right?
The one who's with the
Lord Gabriel,
the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's a bit of a creep.
Yeah. I just feel like we don't know enough about him yet. He seems to have a lot of unearned confidence, I will say, and I don't think I would put that in charge necessarily.
Okay. Little too much.
So we now have a rap name for Moghedian, which is Little Bangs Mo.
Little Bangs Mo.
Little Bangs Mo. I love it.
Softly with the hair bangs. Put Elida in charge. Okay, so yeah, we haven't talked about this with you yet. And that, for a lot of people, was the biggest takeaway from the episode was Swan's trial and execution.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
That was devastating to watch. But it was so cool. Like her speech, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like so good. And so it seemed almost like whatever the red chick's name is, that she was like, that she in the end was like, oh, maybe.
Oops.
Whoops.
That's what I thought too.
But then the little gavel lady kind of put it into that.
Right?
Seriously, to get out of hand. So it was really hard to watch, but kind of beautiful that she got to say her piece. And although she didn't maybe accomplish the thing that she was supposed to from the prophecy or whatever, I feel like she, in the end, was on the side of good. And that does not seem to be true for all of these people in the tower. So,
yeah.
I will say one thing from that scene that I loved was they bookended Swan, her beginning and her end, because when we first met Swan, when I should say her story, when she was a child, she had a very simple dress on. I wouldn't say she was dirty, but she lived, in a shack. And on her trip, I'm sure, even Elida said that she was filthy and stuff. And yet here at the end, she's wearing a very similar dress. She's beat to hell. But at both times she was standing up for herself, and it was just a complete arc for me, and that's what I thought was, aside from her story and her speech, but the beauty that they put in, just showing her from beginning to end being the same person was really cool.
So how are you feeling about Elida now that she's put Swan through that and taken the Amerlin seat for herself?
Well, that's what I couldn't figure out. I thought maybe that archway in the very beginning, I was like, ooh, maybe that's like where they go to almost like the only thing I can think of is like Devil Went Down to Georgia, like make your deal with the devil situation. I was like, maybe that's where they do that. But then in the end, whenever Matt went through, I was like, this doesn't seem to be necessarily what this place is. And so in the beginning I was like, oh, then she's definitely bad, like all the way pledged to the darkness or whatever. But now I kind of just think she's not smart. I think she's like a person. I shouldn't say not smart. That's rude. But like she's a
we
person
can be rude to Elida.
who's
we can totally be rude to Elida.
She's just like on the wrong side of history, you know? Like she doesn't know necessarily that she's doing wrong, but it ends up being on the wrong side.
That is quite apropos.
And you think she noticed at the end? You think she might have realized?
I think when Swan was talking and like the recognition on her face that she was like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm actually not on the side I think I'm on. Like maybe I'm helping the other side, you know?
Yeah. So you think she's sitting there going, am I the drama? Oh my God, I'm the drama.
Wait, am I the problem? Wait a minute.
I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just looking at her makes me mad, honestly.
Yeah.
Which I think is a testament to Shorei's performance, right? Because she was smug, she was just hateful, and then in the end she was kind of shocked. Whereas Sophie Okunedo, who plays Swan, made me just want to like be a better person. She was everything. She was incredible in my opinion. So I am so sad to have lost her, but I feel like it was the right time and it was beautifully done. Do you agree with that, Maggie, or do you wish she would not have gotten killed, like for the sake of the show?
Oh, I don't really know what the storyline needs to do next, so I don't know if like if the tower is supposed to fall to
where would you want it to go? Where would you want the story to go?
I would want the good guys to win, probably. Just
as
a general
sure.
rule.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, you'd love to see her continue, but I get that then you get the martyrs and they like inspire the good. And it did seem like in that room, I thought like, oh, I wonder how many of these people are going to question now, watching her like be willing to die for this and, give her life and not recant. And not apologize, then how much does that do for the side of good in the end? So I think she's a great actress. It'd be great to have her in this in the story still, but I feel like they'll have like little flashback moments for Moraine. If Moraine continues, then we'll maybe still see her in general, but just not in the same way in the storyline.
Okay.
Could you
cry?
Yeah. Was it understandable what they were fighting over? Elida and Swan,
just like power, you mean, or
the issue that was used to dethrone, I guess.
Yeah, that she didn't like. Well, I didn't entirely understand that because it seemed like the accusation was that she let Moraine take Rand through the thing last season to get to the Dragon Reborn city.
Oh, the way to get to Falm? Yeah.
The Dragon Reborn city. No, it's perfect.
I obviously
read
these
name
books.
for Falm,
I've
actually.
seen these names a lot. So, I think it seemed like they were accusing her that she like let them go on purpose, which isn't actually what happened. If you watch the scene. So that's what was confusing to me, is that she never defended herself by saying that's not what happened. Like, she never said like, oh, I tried to use this on Moraine. I tried, like, I don't know what motive she would have for that, I guess, unless she was trying to like give Moraine and Rand more of a chance. I don't really understand why she never like argued against the validity of the accusation, because it doesn't really seem like that's what happened to what I saw. But
yeah, it definitely felt like they had made up their minds, right? They stilled her almost immediately, like without giving her any chance to speak. Yeah. Like they had decided before she ever showed up, which I mean, there was a trial, but she wasn't there.
Yeah, she wasn't there for both times.
The first episode of the season, the same accusation was made. Like, Leandrin made the same accusation that she let Moraine and Rand go, and I'm like, how come like no one's ever taken this up? She didn't ever defend herself, but I don't know why. But
I think maybe, and this is just to correct me, but I think a lot of the things that Leandrin said were true, and then that one part was false. And so Swan would have to be like, it's actually not true, that thing you just said 5 seconds ago specifically, right? Because she can't lie.
Right.
So she couldn't be like, that's all untrue, because technically some of it was true. Some of it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, she could have said, I did not let them go. That would have been something she could have said legitimately, because she didn't mean to. But yeah.
Was that what they were arguing over, Winespring? Or
well, I was wondering more specifically if it was understood that the tower, the Aes Sedai, believe that they are supposed to control Rand as the Dragon Reborn. So, you know, that specific idea of it. But you kind of, I feel like, got that in the Rand being released, Moraine, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I do think that came across pretty clearly, that they just had different. But even it's interesting because it feels like Siuan hasn't been on the side of letting Rand be in control of himself for that long either. Like, she was on the opposing side just very recently as well. So
yeah. Okay, so sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was going to say, so there's a little bit of a conversation in the chat going. How did you like or dislike the way in which Siuan was stilled? Elida was
all
using
those
these
like dagger things,
the arrows,
or icicles.
Yeah. I don't know if they were arrows or whatever, but either way, how did you feel about that?
I didn't understand what was happening. I kind of thought that she was killing her.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah. I thought it was like a trickery, like, and I'm still not entirely clear on, can everyone see the one power things, or is that like a visual effect for the viewer? Like,
that one.
Well, when you say one power, you mean when the women are channeling, or specifically anybody, any specific person, or do you mean in general?
I guess in general.
Okay, so women can see other women weaving, men can see other men, women cannot see men, men cannot see women, right? Or women's channeling. So when we're seeing Siuan, for example, use the stilling, getting shot with these arrows or these whatever the hell they were, every woman in the chamber could see that.
Okay.
So yes, we're getting a really cool visual, but the women can see other women channeling and men
as lay people, though, like standing on the sidelines. The only thing we'd be able to see if someone was channeling was like, for example, when Alana channeled into the sky and produced ice like icicle daggers. Like, those were real, right? Because she channeled up into the sky and like created frozen water, and that's what came down. So like that was visible to everyone. So yeah, it's kind of like a little complicated, but I just like the pretty visuals.
Yeah, the manifestation of the channeling they can see if it manifests something, but they wouldn't be able to see the weaves, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask, let's get an updated favorite character from you. Favorite and least favorite character.
That's rough.
She's gonna say Rand. She's gonna say Rand.
I'm not. I mean, I probably don't have the same disdain for him that I used to.
Ooh,
okay, we're improving.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm maybe more on. Ooh, that's hard. I really like Moraine this season. I don't know. She seems to be so much more like speculative. Like she seems to be like spending a lot more time doing, like, taking her time and doing smart things. And and maybe that just shows the difference in her age versus our other main characters. That there's like a lot more, shoot first, ask questions later, in their storyline, and hers is very like, it seems very measured. And so I did really appreciate that about her this season. And it's made me, I think in the early seasons, it seems like she's the annoying mom who's like, don't do that, but now she's kind of the character who we're like, oh, you kind of made sense all along, huh?
Yeah.
So she's moved up for sure. I don't know what number she is.
Okay.
Honestly, on that shirt alone, I think Matt's out of top place because I had to watch that shirt so many times.
Shirt? You don't like the pinata
with
shirt?
The puffy sleeves.
What?
Yes. And I just, it's very difficult to maintain like excitement over seeing a character when every time you see them, So it just wasn't my favorite, but I still like Matt. I thought Perrin's storyline this season was awesome.
Yep.
Yes, agree.
Just what we wanted, and like that was a really, really good storyline. I'm still loving Egwene more than in the past.
Right?
Nynaeve, I just feel like I get it. But I feel like finally the last episode, she's like coming around. So that's exciting to see like where that would go in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You need a tissue.
Oh, is she your favorite?
I love Nynaeve. Yeah.
Oh, so sorry.
I'm ready. I'm just ready for more. No, I'm with you. Like, I'm just ready to move on too from what they've been doing. What did you think about? Oh, sorry. Was there anyone else you were going to list out?
No. Oh my gosh, losing Loyal, was that his name?
Yeah. Nice.
Epic. So I feel like I can't even list him. He's a no longer character. But I've really appreciated the way that they've had some really beautiful ends to characters.
Yeah.
And
They've
that's
done it
cool
with respect,
because so many book series especially like are afraid to kill off characters or whatever. And it seems like there's so much respect given to these characters in their ending that you like hate to not have them anymore, but you kind of are like grateful to have what you learn from their end too. So
right?
Yeah.
I love that perspective.
I really liked that.
What is the phrase? Like, it's not about the number of moments, but the moments to take your breath away. What's the phrase, guys?
I've never heard that phrase. I
Is
might
that
be
like from a credit card commercial?
I might be too old for
like
that.
A Walk to Remember or something.
I may be too old for that quote. I don't know.
That was butchered. I don't remember exactly what it is.
No, that's a quote,
Someone
but I don't know what it's from.
please tell me what the actual phrase is. But
Oh, wait,
anyways.
can I ask? I have a question about, I think last time you were on, we talked a little bit about, I think it was your episode, Egwene and Rand's breakup.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Okay. And I was wondering kind of what your vibe was, what you got from their interactions.
They're
this
in love.
episode. Haha.
Yeah. Did we get to see if he stopped whenever she was like at the very end, Rand stop, and then I don't know. So I guess I don't know. But that's a good question. I think whenever we talked previously, I was kind of like, she just needs to move on. He's obviously in love with Lanfear. This is just not going to be good for anyone. But I'm not. I think he made some decisions in this episode, and really conversations that we got to see happen, especially that one with Moraine, that showed some progress and sort of made me like, you know what? Okay. I think hopefully there's maybe hope for reconciliation for the two of them. Or at least like they seem to want each other's good again. And so
I like that.
That is good.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody in the chat, I'm sorry, dogged her red. I've never heard this phrase before, but I think it fits perfectly. It's not the amount of crumbs on your shirt, it's how much you enjoyed the cookie.
That's awesome.
Because, it's like sad that they died, but it's like it was amazing while it was happening, right?
If sad, why smile?
That's perfect. That's honestly perfect. Well done. It's not what I was thinking, but it works.
It works.
Okay, so somebody else asked something that. Oh, okay. So Dana Luhu is wondering, and you might not know exactly, but do you have a favorite new character this season, or somebody that hasn't been around as much that's kind of like been around more this season? And I think I know she's fishing for someone in particular.
I thought of someone immediately. I'm wondering about.
No pressure.
Oh, no.
We see right through you, Dana Lou.
I don't know who we're thinking of.
No pressure at all.
Yeah, I didn't really. What's the daughter heir? I didn't really.
Elaine?
Like, yeah, I didn't really care. I don't know.
What about
her story arc? I liked the things that happened in the Two Rivers, so I feel like I almost more appreciated whatever the Aes Sedai who is there, like, what's her
Alana?
name?
Alana.
Yeah, I really appreciated getting more time, and like, I think they gave more to her character.
Yeah.
And I like Perrin's, the little,
Fail.
like,
That's who she was looking
Yeah.
for. That's who she was fishing for.
Yeah.
So you got it. You nailed it. Good job.
Yeah.
So you're
Yeah,
a
I
Fael
mean, I like
fan.
her.
Yeah.
I thought she
I
was
think-
fishing
yeah.
for Tom.
Well, Tom was in season 1.
I know, but he was there for like half
A minute.
Yeah, half a minute.
Okay.
He sang a
Dang.
song and took off.
So do you like Fael for Perrin, or are you not into her?
Oh, no, I do. I think we talked about this. Yeah, I like that she doesn't need him to take care of her.
Yeah.
And I think that I like them together. I think she's like a surprising like addition. I don't know that I was like, oh, Perrin needs a love interest right now, you know? So I kind of I like that it was unexpected, and that's not like why he went there. Was not the motive. I think it makes it more like exciting and cool and pure that they just found a common cause and then found each other.
Yeah. I like that. Okay, guys, we had like 10 minutes left with Maggie. Have we talked about what have we not talked about?
We talked about the Finn with her? Of course we did, because I felt horrible after that conversation. Let me.
Why?
No.
I was deemed decades older in my analogy of the Finn. No, I was trying to think. What did we not talk about?
I don't know.
Balefire.
Oh, yeah.
We did not talk about Balefire with Maggie.
So, yeah, go ahead, Tab.
Oh, so how did you feel about the Balefire? The whole thing, the rod with the lightsaber.
Oh, I did not understand what the big deal was about that. Was I supposed to know about that?
No, it's new.
No, it's new.
Oh.
But how did you feel about that whole scene?
Oh. I mean, I was kind of trying to keep up. I was not sure why we were running around this old building for quite a bit of
Old building. I
Yeah.
like that.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
good.
It just seemed like not, but and I couldn't really tell. So was the lady who was like wielding that, was she not Aes Sedai, or was she?
She was. She was a
Yeah,
member of the Black Aja.
Yeah, she was
Okay,
one
that's
of
what I
Leandrin's crew.
Thought. So then the fact that she would use that instead of wield, or could only women use that? Is it does it channel your wielding, or is it like its own cool like weapon thing?
It's a Terran Grial, so you have to like channel into it this particular one to use it. So yeah, it would have to be like an Aes Sedai or somebody else who could channel using it. If that's your question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think the reason that it was so out of control for her, but Elaine was able to use it, was like a power level thing. Like Elaine's more powerful than she is, so she didn't like her like ability helped her control it. I think that's why.
Interesting.
Chat is out of control.
Sorry, I just have no clue. And I also didn't know the sword, like Lan's sword, isn't it? How come did it seem to affect what Lanfear more than other swords would have? She seemed surprised by it. And then she I couldn't tell if she tried to heal herself, but it didn't heal or something.
Yeah, that's actually
that seemed interesting.
A good observation.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I did not notice. I saw her like doing her finger thing and I was like, oh, she's healing it. And then I kept watching, right? But then everyone in my comments is like, she couldn't heal herself. She couldn't heal. She was still there, and I was like, "Oh shit! I did not notice that."
I think she did stop the bleeding, but it left a scar.
Oh, I'd have to.
Yeah,
watch
it left a black line across her.
But it definitely
leg
hurt
or whatever,
her more than other things.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they kind of talked about this earlier in the season, where like because the sword that Rand used was able to hurt Ishamael, they were like, Lan has a sword that's like that, that's power wrought. So we should use it to hurt the Forsaken. And so that's kind of what was going on. Yeah. Yeah. So
I still don't think I understand. I'm kind of like the Little Bangs girl, where she was like, how do you kill a Forsaken? I don't know the answer to that. and I'm not sure that like that one. He looked very dead.
He did.
But
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He looked dead as dead. Yeah.
How final these endings are, or how lethal like the injuries are. That's been an interesting like thing to just not know about, I feel like, in the
Okay,
this is a more of an
like
aesthetic
can they
question.
can heal themselves, I guess, right? The Forsaken.
Forsaken, like Lanfear did. We saw her do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Typically, like Aes Sedai cannot heal themselves.
But the
They
Aes
can heal
Sedai
other
can't heal
people.
themselves.
Right.
The
So
Forsaken
it's
use the true
interesting.
power.
Yeah.
You can't heal yourself with the one power. So yeah, like the weird black stuff around Lanfear. Did you pick up that was a different type of power, or did you just assume like she's a bad guy, so it was black?
Oh, maybe both. I guess I thought those went together. It looked different, but I thought maybe it was just because she was a bad guy. So
okay,
that's funny.
Interesting.
So back to the old Panarch's palace. The old building that they were crawling around with. One, I kind of love the fact that it was like a hide and seek, and it was actually kind of spooky. So I thought they got away with that. But I think what made it spooky were those weird little children statues that were everywhere. How did you feel about those? They were all little kids.
Correct.
All those statues were little kids. That's all they were. And it was creepy as
I know. It gave me Chronicles of Narnia, like White Witch turning people to stone vibes. I didn't care for it.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah, that was weird.
So much more observant than
Well,
I
it
am.
was for me. It was creepy in multiple ways. One, because I'm not a big fan of little child dolls. Annabelle, anybody? Two, they were all little children, and three, Winespring had pointed this out before in previous episodes that the underlying tone of Tanchico and wife and child brides and children having children, and all of a sudden the Panarch's palace is full of little statues of children just freaked me the hell out.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was creepy.
It's giving Brussels.
Yeah. But now that you mention
Brussels,
yeah, there's like
the
little.
mannequin.
There's the mannequin.
I've not been to
piss.
Brussels. Now I'm not going.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's like little kid statues, little kids peeing. It's a thing. It's called the mannequin piss.
Google
Look it up.
All right, I'm not going to, but okay.
It's famous. Just saying.
That does make me wonder, though. Whenever Elaine wielded the whatever staff
Balefire
thing,
rod, yeah.
did the ceiling repair itself? That seemed strange.
That's what we
the
were
heck
getting
was
at.
that? And I forgot about that, but yeah, that seemed Bowser's Castle-ish, and
We can go back to that picture. Can you go back to that picture?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So do you want to know what Balefire does? Because it was like it kind of showed us, but it definitely didn't tell us.
Yes. Wait, can I guess?
Yeah,
sure.
It's probably not right, but it kind of made me think of in one of the Harry Potters, whenever it like does the last spell that the wand did. I was like,
Priori
it was interesting that
incantatum.
it was like the last thing and it like reversed the last thing. That seemed interesting to me. But go ahead and tell me.
Okay, well, you're on the right track. So essentially, the amount of Balefire you use, or the amount of power that you put into the Balefire you're using, determines how essentially far back in time the pattern rolls back. So it like reverse. So if you kill someone with Balefire, their existence vanishes from the pattern and it burns through the pattern slightly. So their actions that they took for a certain amount of time into the past no longer happened. So that's why, because she rocketed the Balefire rod into the ceiling, and the ceiling crashed down, whenever she got Balefired, that reversed. And Tavern actually pointed out, Tavern, why don't you tell us the thing that I didn't notice?
It was what, the 10 seconds worth, or
no, like the thing, the noise.
Oh,
Missy Elliott.
The Missy Elliott. So it went backwards 10 seconds from the time that Elaine knocked, or right before Elaine knocked her down, to when she zipped back up and we saw the faint outline of her, or the little outline like we're seeing in the picture now. It was 10 seconds, but the moment we saw that last frame, they actually played Jane Cade's dialogue in reverse. So you hear, yeah.
Which is very much like Missy Elliott. I'm not even going to try. But the Missy Elliott song. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How interesting. So could that be used in the end to like undo big things? It's like the ultimate undo button.
You have to
like
people.
the Thanos, like, but different.
So yeah, the thing about Balefire is it's kind of like
I don't like undos.
It's like widely agreed upon by almost all parties that you're not supposed to use Balefire, because the more Balefire you use, the more it harms the pattern. And if you harm the pattern enough, you basically unravel all of existence. So they're like, you know, people aren't really supposed to be using Balefire.
Yeah.
And
even the bad guys aren't happy about it.
Even the bad guys generally avoid it. You know, obviously rules are meant to be broken according to most people in the Wheel of Time. But yeah, so technically there are a lot of things that you could reverse. I've actually gotten people in my TikTok comments like, hey, if they use Balefire, could we bring Swan back? Technically, if they got there fast enough, yes.
Right.
But you'd have to use a big chunk of Balefire to reverse things like very far back in time. So.
And does Balefire destroy things?
Completely.
So you would have to use it to destroy, like you'd have to use a lot of Balefire to destroy something significant in order to.
Yes. So like because Alviarin was the one who killed Swan, for example, you'd have to Balefire her specifically, and like depending on how long it had been, it'd be like a bigger and bigger chunk of Balefire necessary.
And you risk the chance of doing some serious damage of to the pattern. Yeah.
So.
Is there only one?
One Balefire rod.
Balefire rod.
So there's a Balefire rod, but it is also just a weave. So you can create Balefire, like you can weave Balefire if you know the weave. But a lot of people don't know the weave. So
that rod basically allowed people that weren't strong enough or whatever to channel into it and create Balefire.
Yeah.
Which why would somebody make that?
Demons. They're demons.
Don't get it. Somebody asked a question. And chat, it may not be for Maggie, but I'll read it anyways. Farah said, do the other Aiel women who go through the rings come out with the same crystal ball like Moraine did, or was it only Moraine who did? Kritter, I'm going to, please.
It was just Moraine. She found the Sakarnan in the tree. There's only one Sakarnan, and Moraine found it because she kind of like followed the, vibes of the pattern.
The thumping.
Yeah, and so there's just one. There can only be one. Sakarnan, basically.
Yep.
All right, so we have reached the end of our time with Maggie. I feel like we went fast, and I don't even know what we did or did not talk about. So Maggie, was there anything else that we didn't talk about with you that you really wanted to talk about when it comes to this episode?
No. I think I mostly kind of forget what happens in the episodes. That's why you have to remind me.
Until we bring it up.
I think the only thing we did not talk about was Nynaeve's block. With Maggie.
You just said you were like,
I'm just interested if that's going to, if it was like a one-time woman lifting a car off of her baby situation, or if it's like she's actually unblocked for
I'm with you.
like for good now. I have a feeling it's not that way, but she did seem like relieved to see that she could channel again, which which in her position that would be super scary to be like, cool, I have all this power, I can't use it, and I can just be killed really easily all the time. That's great. So it did seem like she was relieved, but I don't know that it's like over. And it kind of, then they were just all of a sudden back on the boat.
Yeah,
I have some questions. How'd you get on that boat?
Okay, so a little bit rushed this episode.
Yeah, it probably. But I get that they had to do a lot because Perrin got that whole episode before. So it kind of, to tie things up in a nice bow, it makes sense.
Okay. So I guess before we let you go, one last question I had, and if you haven't thought it through, then that's fine. But this season, now that you've seen all of it, how do you think it compares to the other seasons?
Ooh.
That's really hard. I do feel like the other seasons did more of a slow build towards like an epic ending. This season started so strong that I unfortunately, like last episode was really good, but this episode I was just kind of left like, it felt like a middle of the season episode to me more than a like finale. So it's hard to when that's like what you're left with at the end of
You
the
need
season,
to
it's hard to be like,
sit
this
with
was as
it.
good of a season.
Yeah.
But I think it probably is the best. Like,
Overall.
I learned the most. The like sets and all of the different places they went were amazing, and there were so many really good moments and like quotable moments in the season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was probably 3, 2, 1 for me.
Yeah. Nice.
But
I think
Nice.
me too.
not my
And-
favorite finale, but
Yeah.
my favorite season, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You think your favorite finale was season 2? If I remember, you
Mhm.
liked that one a lot.
Fire dragon. That's pretty cool.
Fire
Yeah, what's
Dragon.
what's not to like?
Can I ask one more just silly question? You don't have to give a lot of details, just a quick answer.
Yeah.
If you could had to switch yourself, like with one character in this show, which one? I mean, you have to. This is the question. Which one would it be, Maggie?
Mm. That is rough.
Brain is working. Yes.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't feel. I would say I really like where Egwene's going, but I don't think I could deal with the drama of the Rain situation. So I wouldn't want to put myself there. And I love Moiraine's, but it's hard to be like, yeah, I would pick the one that's probably gonna die soon. Like I wouldn't. That would seem a little masochistic to sign up for
The
that.
giant hole in my gut. I'll pick her.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Please. Yes, please. Yeah, so I feel like it'd be easiest to be Matt because he literally just does whatever the heck he wants. Whenever he was like walking towards that archway and she's like, hey, wait, no, don't. And he's just like
Strolled in.
Like, yeah.
Yep.
She said at least twice to slow down and he just did not care. So
I actually love the answer of Matt. What a great answer.
he seems to survive on luck alone. So I feel
Yeah.
like that could be
Yeah.
kind of a fun
Interesting.
life.
Yeah.
That's an
That's
interesting
so true.
observation. You're not
Yeah.
wrong. You're not wrong about that. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was super fun. I think we can all agree that, we need more episodes so that the finale can completely feel like a finale for everyone watching. I think with 10 episodes, we would have had more time to breathe. And so Prime Video, why don't you give it to us? Give us more episodes. Give us another season.
At least 10.
At least 10. At least 10. Maggie, we always let people say the final words, famous last words before they sign off. So again, thank you so much, people in the chat. They are thanking you too. Any last words before you peace out?
No, I've taken enough of your time, so
Absolutely
I
not.
appreciate
Loved
it.
Yeah.
You've
Thanks
taken nothing.
for teaching me so much and for introducing me again to
No
the Wheel
problem.
of Time. So
The Golden Crane will ride again, we hope.
Over your right shoulder.
yes.
All right. See you later, Maggie. Thank you.
Bye, Maggie.
Bye-bye. Okay.
She's so fun.
She's hilarious. Okay. So, everyone,
It's
you
time.
can see now that there is an icon right here, and it says full book spoilers. You have been doing very well
great.
keeping the chat book spoiler free. We are now opening the floodgates, so those of you who do not want to be spoiled from the books, now's your time to leave. Now's your
Get
time to
out.
leave. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Okay, so I want to answer your question, Elaine. Oh my gosh, I almost called you Elaine Winespring. I did just call you Elaine. Winespring.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Honestly, and that's the answer that I was going to give. Like, if I got
my crown for
if
that
I got to be
moment.
one of the people in the Wheel of Time, 1,000% I would choose Elaine because I'm not only one of the strongest channelers, but I also am going to be queen, guys. Come
Right?
on.
And you know her whole story. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm
love
10
that,
out of 10
Elaine.
picking Elaine. What about you
Who's-
guys?
Go ahead, Winespring.
Gosh.
I've got my answer.
Well, the Elaine, probably.
No, actually.
Okay.
Mine would be Nynaeve for sure.
She's my number 2. It's a good choice. Okay,
If
Tab.
if Brandon Sanderson didn't ruin Egwene, I would have picked Egwene.
Ruin?
Well, yeah. I mean, we all heard what he chose to do. He didn't have to do it, right?
Oh yeah. I
What?
guess
Wait,
you
what
wouldn't want to pick her because
Because of her end. Yeah, her end, the story, how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're full spoilers. I
We're
still
on
like
full
seeing it.
spoilers. We're full
Yeah.
spoilers. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Winespring wouldn't pick somebody who dies.
Yeah. She said it, not me.
I am picking Senbui.
Okay.
Think about it. There's no way to go but up for Sanbui. He was just a hero. He was just a hero. He's gonna be milking that for the rest of his life.
Wow.
And what's his wife's name again?
He's old enough to the point where he may not make it to Tarman Gaidon, so he doesn't have to worry about that either.
Well, you know what happens to Tarman Gaidon, though.
I know, but listen, that's a show thing.
Oh my gosh, Winespring, your headdress, it's giving Elida.
That's the whole reason I have it in my
and she's got red behind her.
Yes, I do. And I wore my red earrings for Elida. It's all for Elida, you guys. Let's talk about how awesome she was this episode. And she made no mistakes.
There is an answer for Joe White's question.
Did Moraine see Lanfear's traveling weave? Did she see enough? $5 super chat.
So.
Thank you, Joe White. I don't see why she wouldn't have.
I thought so as well. And somebody earlier in chat said that Rafe had confirmed it, but I don't know where that.
Oh yeah,
from.
Rafe
that
said
fast travel is coming.
Miss much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I did. That was on his Instagram stories, wasn't it?
Because that was the first thing I thought was Moraine saw her use the gateway, or use
no time to invert your weaves when you're fleeing for your life.
Also, Moraine did something this episode that was spoken about, but nobody has been bringing it up, when she tied off the weave on Samael, and something they did not know how to do.
Yes.
Oh, I mentioned that in my reaction video. I said, that's something she learned from Samael.
Mr. Moonbound, while we were watching, he was like, did she learn that because it happened to her? I was like, yes.
Yeah.
I love you.
We should get married.
So proud.
Davey Elmer says, do not be Elida Winespring. So it sounded like you wanted to talk about Elida a little more.
Oh yeah, I was totally kidding. Definitely not like Elida Stan. Other than the fact that she is doing a great job as Elida.
Oh my gosh.
I kind of agree with the moment though with her face. Like what was she thinking? Like they layered her character so much just with the soft expression almost that was
the look was like, oh shit, I screwed up. You know, because and she should have known that when Swan saved her life and healed her, because she could have just let her freaking die.
That's that power hungry side, I think, of her. Yeah.
I think.
But when I saw the headdress, I totally thought of this. I was
like,
well, I'm gonna have to bring that out.
Now that we're full spoilers, I have to say the fact that I think Maggie called out Alviarin as being like extra super harsh. I was like,
yes.
So you noticed that, did you?
Yeah. God, I love when they notice things like that.
So do you guys think this is lending credence to Alviarin being one of the Forsaken, or somebody pretending to be?
I think Alviarin is just Black Aja.
I think so too.
Really good.
I think so too.
Aja.
Yeah,
but she's like Leandrin's Black Aja. I think Alviarin is like, even higher.
Oh yeah, she was the in the book. She was like the leader.
Yeah, she was
of the Black Aja. Yeah.
Well, they are doing a good job with that.
She's
and she might still be on the show. We don't know yet.
Yeah.
We don't know. We just know about the hearts and that Leandrin was able to put 4 together. I thought that the whole thing where Ishii talked to her as a child when nobody else was talking to her in Tenchigo, they were going to set up that she was the first, but it didn't make sense to me. So I ignored that. But because I mean, on the show they can rewrite whatever they want. They can retcon whatever.
People are saying Alviarin is Cimarag.
I think Rima being Semirag is more likely. Alviarin is the
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you okay?
Alviarin is Elida's new keeper, the one who beheaded Swan.
I agree. 100% I agree. Because and they show her delving into Matt's brain with so much more finesse than anyone else that has been doing brain magic so far. And even Naomi said maybe a Forsaken could do that. Right?
Yeah.
And Rima was really doing some intricate stuff.
My biggest thing is that Rima was with the Shanchan, and like we did not see, Egwene is the only one that escaped that we saw. And so I'm just
it was off screen, right?
Yeah, her escape off screen. Honestly, it had me confused. We talked about this in another stream. I didn't even realize it was her. I thought it was a different Aes Sedai named Rima, because I was like, she's really with the Shanchan.
I didn't realize until they said the name. And my brain went, they wouldn't use that same name twice.
No way.
They wouldn't do it.
Nobody in chat agrees. Everyone, y'all are wrong.
Do you think Alviarin's Semirag? Simrog?
No.
Neither.
No, I don't.
Look.
I don't. I mean, she
In the
gives off
books?
that vibe, but I don't think so.
No,
was
not
Simrog undercover in the books? In the tower?
She
Semirog
was
with the Shan.
Who was in the tower? No, it was Semirog that was in the
There
tower.
was someone in the tower,
It
and
was-
totally undercover, right?
It wasn't Maggedian.
Oh, look at the focus of Kritter,
Sorry, it was
everybody.
the one that it was the one that with the dream spike, the one that Egwene outwilled, the one that Egwene broke her brain. It was not Semirog. It
All right,
was
chat. We're looking at you.
Masana.
Masana.
There we go. Thank you.
You saw me.
it was
You
Masana.
tried
it's
to start
Knuckles.
with M. You started
job,
me being like,
Knuckles.
it's I couldn't remember what.
There it is.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. So yeah, Masana was the one that was undercover.
Yeah,
in the tower.
Masana. Thanks, chat.
So yeah,
But we're not
we
getting
don't know
Masana?
jack.
We're not getting Masana.
Yeah,
Okay,
she
so they
wasn't-
could do Simrog instead.
Yeah, they could blend the two if they wanted to.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vashi says they're with me. So
Okay.
Who?
Wheel and Sugar are alive.
yeah, listen.
Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
Relax.
We love speculating. We love
We do.
speculating.
It's fun.
I think that one of them, either Alviarin or Rima, may be a Forsaken. I don't know which one, because if they throw a third person in there, I'm going to be like, okay, you're killing me now. But I
They
think with what Rima did in that one episode, I think leans more in her direction.
Semiana, says Dana Luhu. Okay, interesting.
That's funny.
We'll see. But either way, I love how I hated, but how Alviarin didn't let anybody be persuaded by Swan. She was like, we're gonna cut that one off.
So there was a question about that way early, like a while back, about that, and how was it that Alviarin was able to kill Swan?
They accused her of being a dark friend.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Same thing. They accused her of being dark friend, and that was enough. And she had already been tried and found guilty, period. And before anybody else could say anything.
Spoilery.
Yeah, really.
Because Alviarin's not actually bound by the 3 O's, but that's not the answer we're giving people right now. Not right now.
Definitely don't want to spoil that. So why was Swan all beat up and bloody? What do we think happened in between the stilling and then the murder?
Yeah,
like
a lot had questions.
Okay, kind of like we saw with the other dark friend, the real dark friends that she went to question. She really just knocked them around.
Listen, the thing that bothered me about that whole scene was the amount of blood behind Swan was driving me crazy. It was way too much blood for that body.
Yeah,
but then I had to try to reason that out for myself just so that I could move on, because my OCD would not let me go on. And I said they were healing her in between. In between beatings.
Kind of what you decided.
Because that's what I decided, because
that is nasty.
According to that blood, she should have died 20 feet before where she was standing, because there was it went down the hallway.
It was gruesome.
Yeah, it went down the hall. It was a lot.
Okay, so Swan, like, I personally think that this was the right call for this show. There are a lot of people who disagree with me. Like,
we're gonna get in trouble. Thanks for that.
I'm sorry. Like,
no,
I have one of my absolute besties who I actually convinced to read the books between season 2 and season 3. She finished the books. She texted me after she watched the episode, absolutely furious. She said they're changing too much. I loved Swan's arc, like her overcoming the getting stilled and trying to benefit the light in any way she can and training Egwene. Like, she was super attached to that arc, and she's really mad that it's gone. And I was like, oh shit. Like, I felt like it was a really powerful moment, and I just can't see this version of Swan playing second fiddle to Egwene the rest of her life. Like, I just can't see that.
I don't think she'd play a character, the actress.
That's what I'm saying. And nor should I think Academy Award nominated actress have to do that. Like, there's so many practical considerations that went into it that I was like, yeah, this makes perfect sense. It was an incredible moment. Do you guys agree?
I tend to lean towards, I hope this is okay. Those big deaths that are shocking are like good for the actors and actresses and storylines. So like Valda and Andrew, like both were just like memorable ends. Yeah. Like, you're not going to forget that. Like that. And that's good for, actors, and storylines. So,
And you have to, and like just both of our guests said that this episode was like fell flat in some ways, right? Like Max was like way too rushed, and Maggie was like, it didn't feel like a finale, like there wasn't enough happening. And so to me, it's like, you know what, one way to sort of try to fix that is narrow the focus. You know, Swan was amazing, but like she's not a main character, and I know she was some people's faves.
She got a main character ending in her,
but she got a main character ending, so it was
did.
like kind of like a flower in her cap. It was like a better way for her to go than the alternative.
Chat, I know that some of you think I'm a dark friend, and this may or may not solidify that a little bit more in your eyes, but I am going to reprise my role from Thursday. I'm so sorry, I can't not do it. One, I felt this was my favorite episode of the season. That's one. Two,
well, spoilers really for our episode ranking.
In regards to Swan, we bury our dead and we move on. Okay. What else is there? Again, we got to that part. I saw the build up. I knew it was going to happen. They did it, and I was like, done. Move on. And I just moved on. Why? Because in the show, like Kritter said, it made sense. A lot of people have been having issues trying to separate the books from the show, and rightfully so. It's a lot of books. It means a lot to a lot of people. The show is not the books. The show is not the books, and you have to, and you have to separate it. If not, you're not going to be able to enjoy the show as much as you should, and it is an outstanding show.
Honestly, I have to be honest. Okay, confession time.
Okay.
Whenever after Loyal died in my reaction video, when I kind of do like once it's over, I kind of like hash things out just briefly, quickly, like off the cuff. And in that, I said but edited out because I thought it was too harsh, because I loved the episode, but the words I said were, "This is not Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time," because
you're not wrong.
It felt harsh because like the characters are there, like the overall story is there, like I'm loving it, but without Loyal and now without Swan, like it's changed. It's another turning of the wheel is all it really meant, and that's what I left in. I got rid of the like this isn't Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time.
You weren't wrong though,
because I sounded like a book close, because that's what they say. That's what they say.
Yeah, but it's not a wrong assumption.
I said it in a way. What I meant was it's another turning, and stuff like that. It makes for good TV. That's where we're at. I don't know.
I started a reread, a few years ago in between seasons. So weird to say that, a few years ago. And I stopped because I didn't want to do too much comparing. I don't mind coming on here and being like, you guys, what was it again in the books? Like I'm just going to do that because the show is great for a show. Like I feel like they are giving it to us wonderfully. Like I love it.
Yeah. Okay. So somebody in the chat asked, and that's what I brought this up because I also want to talk about this. In his Q&As, Rafe said something along the lines of, we have an idea of someone else who could kind of do what Swan did in the books.
Yeah.
So do we think that person is Liana?
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know if it will be, but I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
could it not be Moraine?
Moraine's going to be busy with Rand. I think Moraine's taking Cadswain's freaking spot.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I just don't see Moraine separating herself from Rand to mentor Egwene, unless Egwene sticks around Rand, which I don't see happening. I think Egwene's getting disenchanted with Rand, and she's going to peace once the Tower Schism like officially sets off, and that's going to be like her arc.
What if it's Elida?
Oh dear. You like a complete turn? Like Elida has a complete change of heart?
No. No.
Egwene gets captured and she like takes notes from Elida?
What couldn't she end up back at the she would never go.
Oh, you're talking about the teaches Egwene. Never mind.
The teaches Egwene. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Rand. I was like, oh shit.
Oh, no. I'm just trying to think who would teach her, because
I feel like it's gotta be Liana. They're pulling Liana up to be this like prickly, which is kind of like what Swan was like after she was stilled, right? She was very bristly, almost like naive, like
There could be Varen. Varen is also another choice.
Wait. To Liana, that I chose you because you could stand up to me, and Egwene is gonna need that.
So that's kind of what I think they're gonna do, because otherwise they would have killed her, just like they killed Swan.
And she disappeared quickly.
Yeah.
After she got shielded. We didn't see her again.
They're questioning her.
Lock 137 says I like Varen for this.
Yeah,
Varen's
just
another
a
good choice.
Tavern
Yeah.
That's interesting
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I like Varen for anything. More screen time with Varen would be great.
It could set up a future scene. Ooh, that's such a good point. So since this is full book spoilers, guys, full book spoilers, whenever Varen reveals herself as a member of the Black Ajah, imagine having been Egwene's mentor this entire time and then doing it.
Wow.
But here's the thing.
Scene. Oh my God,
we see with Melindra this season, or this past episode, that people swear themselves to the dark, not always for bad reasons.
Yeah.
Right. So Varen, we don't know her backstory.
Well, we just saw what happened to Melindra, like doing the right thing, and it did not do anything. And like, are we gonna have to
that
see
was
that
like
with Varen?
overtly? Yeah, I bet that's how she dies. Instead of maybe the poison, she just like sets herself up to be like, okay, I've got like 10 seconds after I officially break my oaths.
Yeah.
So bye.
All right, Dr. Red. I really hope you're kidding because this is full spoilers.
And the good thing, the cool thing about them showing,
stop. I literally said full spoilers.
Full
Dr. Red,
spoilers.
you gotta be kidding me.
I'm about to be sick if you got spoiled. I'm
There's an
literally.
icon.
yeah, we've already said, listen, it's on them. We said we were full spoilers. I'm not even worried about it right
feel
now.
a little guilty. Like, so I really hope you knew that.
So what Melindra's death showed us, because we never got this in the books, is what happens if you break your dark oaths, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just connected with.
And suddenly, apparently, you instantly get your soul snatched out your body by the Dark One. Like instant, like.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Red.
Can we put Doctor in timeout for that?
No.
I need to take my blood pressure. Thank you, Brandy, for telling us.
It's an incredible moment from the books. I agree. And NBC Stitcher says probably depends on the wording of the oath they take. Right, because Varen specifically like operated in such a way that she wasn't like violating.
She never
her
broke
oaths.
them.
Yeah,
Oh,
she was maneuvering around them until the very end.
So theory time, if you don't mind. This was something that Winespring brought up earlier when we were talking about Elida, and my brain went in a different direction. And my thought was, what if Swan's speech did get to Elida, and Elida takes off to go teach Rand and takes Cadsuane's freaking spot? Far-fetched, super far-fetched, but it would make for an interesting ass freaking show.
They've mentioned Cadsuane too many times. I think
When
we're
do
doing
we
Cadsuane.
get the
I know they have,
moment
I know.
with the Gawain and the toe raking or the raking and the Sanchin and
Oh my
and
gosh.
she's there and Elida's there and like
No, I
That
want
is-
that so bad.
I would
We're
accuse you
in
of being a
two
dark
seasons.
friend, but I fear he wouldn't associate with you or whatever. Yeah, that absolute burn. Okay, you guys are gonna die. All right, are you ready for this?
Oh,
I've
God.
got a. So, Mr. Kritter and I have been having debriefs, right? I did my reaction videos, and then
I love
that evening we'll watch together, and then we do a debrief, and and
so cool.
somehow in our debrief from this past episode, he was like pretty satisfied with the finale. Which again, you guys, if you've been around, you know that's a bit of a book cloak. So like, but he was excited about like some of the things that Rand got to do, and he's just talked about like in the past some big moments that Rand has had in the books have been kind of taken away from him or changed in such a way that he didn't get his big moments. And he's like, Rand gets a few giant moments in the books, and like every one of those that gets taken away, it's sad. And he's like, a way to liken that to like your experience is like, what's your favorite thing that Egwene did? And I was like, oh, Gathering Storm, like Gathering
100.
Storm to the battle of with Shanji, easy. And he was like, what happened there again? Like he almost
I am shocked.
forgot about it.
Shut up right now.
He was like,
I'm sorry,
what was that again? And I was like, excuse me? That's like my favorite book. That's my favorite of the one. Yeah, so because he was like, so I think it really depends on like what characters you latch on to as to what you remember the most from a 14-book series, which fine. But how, like he said that didn't like affect him that much, that arc in the books. And I was like, I cry every time I read it. What are you talking
I could cry
about?
right now thinking about
Oh, the Egwene in the tower?
Yeah. He
It's
said
a
it
good
wasn't,
scene.
he just like, it's meh for him. And it literally blew my mind. I couldn't believe it.
We talked about
Couples
this. though.
Therapy Time by Mel.
Wait, but we talked about this because remember when I said that all of the, everybody's getting hooked on the romance things, and to me, it's like nothing because I didn't none of that romance stuff really meant anything to me.
So you get what
Yeah,
he's
the
talking about.
relationships
It's like
didn't mean anything.
Certain people he's just not that invested in.
Yeah. Also, there's a message in our WC chat on X for you, if you can take a look
later.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But yeah, I totally get what he's saying. 100% get what he's saying. Some of the stuff that
Do you really?
Yeah, there are some parts of the books that, like, for example, I know people that love the entire Perrin Fail Shido arc, and I'm like, how?
Okay, that's not
I could
even
live
comparable to
I could live
I'm
completely
sorry.
without that. I could also live without anything that have to do with Val and Luca, if I'm being honest.
The circus plot. It's some people aren't as big of a fan, which fine. I'm gonna pull up something that relates to if I can. So, oh my god, this frickin'! I swear to God, it's fine. Nobody panic. Keep talking.
So yeah, what's your thing that you hear other people excited about Winespring that you could care less about? Do you have any like that from the books?
That people are excited about that I care
like there's
less
a
about?
plot line, like a plot or anything.
Look, I'm gonna blow your mind right now. You ready?
Love it all.
I love it all. Like that is my vibe with this.
My mind is not blown somehow.
Yeah,
I
was not expecting that.
Yeah, I just really enjoy all of it.
Oh my gosh, Carrie Hine. Yes, or sorry, Carrie Hine. I assume. I was like trying to pronounce your name like Carian. Maybe that's the intent, or your name is Carrie.
It's Carrie. It is Carrie Hine. Yeah.
Carrie. The exact conversation is why book cloaking is so silly. Everyone has their own book experience. Yeah. That was the conclusion. That was the thesis. The end of our whole conversation was, and that's why the show is different for everyone. And Mr. Kritter said, and that's why probably I like the show more than him, because my favorite characters and arcs are probably also the favorite characters and arcs of Rafe and the showrunners, right? So like he's emphasizing things that latched on to him, and those things were also things that I latched onto, right? And so like we're more in line, whereas Mr. Kritter is off in like Randstan land, which to me is like a complete foreign land. Not really. I mean,
there was another moment that was kind of given to Lanfear and Moraine. So the scene I've been waiting for is Nynaeve and Maggedion, where they're fighting. Nynaeve thinks to punch her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we got to see Lanfear grabbing a sword and getting Moraine.
Interesting.
And I thought, did they just give that to Nynaeve and Moraine instead of to Nynaeve and Maggedion? I kind of hope not.
I think we'll still get the Moggedion stare
really
down.
hope so.
It's an iconic scene.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a pin in this really quickly, because we did we did something last year before WatCon. I'm trying to remember
Jordan
this.
Con.
Yeah, before Jordan Con. So we were having a cook-off, right? And so we got to circle back to, it's not the crumbs on your shirt, it's how the cookie tasted while you ate it, or whatever that phrase was.
And then somebody made a comment that Winespring needed to make cookies.
Oh, okay. Wow. So we had a.
You don't have to show the whole thing for sure. It's like a minute.
What's the timestamp?
I think it's right at 40 seconds in.
Okay.
Let me. I think you said.
So this whole thing happened. I was like, wait, I think I have something relevant.
Okay, give me a second.
You always have something relevant, Winespring.
I'm gonna just put it at 35 seconds and play the rest of it. Okay, stand by, team. I'm gonna go away to another monitor so that you guys can, or so that the chat can see and hear this. So hopefully the stream doesn't blow up. Okay, let's switch.
Why should I be concerned when you can't get my name right? Challenge accepted.
I forgot the crumbles were literally like on your
literally crumble, and then on my knee, and I'm like wiping them off.
So cookies crumbling is actually like a wheel and chill. You know,
it's
part
staple.
of the lore. It's part of the lore.
When they said that, I was like, oh, relevant.
Dana, who says, Rafe basically said we will get the Nin Moggy face off, so that's really encouraging. I do think that they gave us the hint of it with the Moggedion compulsion scene this season, and that it will feel so satisfying if we get it next season when there's been more of an animosity building.
And they specifically mentioned it in the episode when Nynaeve said when she did what she did to Elaine and I, we think she's a Forsaken or whatever. So they brought it up specifically, and you can tell that it's on her mind, on Nynaeve's mind. So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark Gibson says, please extend my best wishes to Mr. Kritter as one Rand stand to another. Don't get me wrong. I really enjoy Rand in the books. He just wasn't my favorite, right? Egwene was. And that's just where we were.
Who said that?
Mark Gibson.
Mark Gibson, let's get this right. It's Rand Stand Land. She called it.
I said Mr. Critter was living in Rand Stand Land.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. It's Rand Stand Land. Because I bought a property there as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There was something I noticed too that I thought was interesting. In the Nynaeve moment. So we have Lanfear wrapping her up in chains and throwing her in the water.
Leandrin.
Leandrin.
I say the wrong one all the time.
So Leandrin does this, and then Nynaeve, miraculous moment, and walks out of the water. It was really great. So what I thought about, again, because Ray said he is pulling from all over the place, from different religious imageries and that kind of stuff. There's the obvious Moses parting the water moment, right? The one that actually stood out to me though was the wrapping of the chains and throwing her in the water.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because maybe some people remember this, somewhere in maybe like the Old Testament, there's like the statement, it'd be better for a bad teacher to like tie a block to their feet and jump in the water, basically drown yourself, than to be a bad teacher. But then you have a bad teacher doing that to her student. And I thought that was very interesting little flip of imagery that they gave us with Nynaeve specifically.
That's impressive. That's a deep cut.
Did you guys pick up the fact that in doing this as Nynaeve's teacher, she actually taught her how to break her block? Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
It's a full circle, or should I say full wheel moment.
Well, it was a full wheel moment.
Also, she did you mention that she wrapped her the same way she wrapped her in air? In season 1, she wrapped her with chains like she wrapped her in air, and that's what got Nynaeve to break out of that air thing. She fought back the moment she got wrapped up. Yeah, so that was kind of cool.
Diogeno thinks that the Moses moment is supposed to parallel Nynaeve pushing Egwene into the river.
That is also wow. That's
and
really
instead of floating, she's taking control, which is what she needs to do because she cares about control.
Which is what the Windfinder told her.
Let go. Like
but she can't.
She did let go though.
She let go while she was under the water. Yeah.
Yeah, she let go of the struggle. Plus, she also did what the Windfinder told her to plant her feet. Well, I mean, she didn't have a choice. She was kind of anchored to the ground. Yeah. But yeah, no, that was a freaking outstanding.
And I know Max mentioned like there was like a self-parenting moment with her child, that kind of thing. What I got from that watching it was, to Nynaeve, maybe the only way her child lives is if she lives because her child lives within her mind. And so in order to save her child, she also had to save herself in that moment. Oh,
that's amazing.
That was nice.
That was pretty good.
I love that.
Anybody tissue? Anyone?
Yeah. That moment got me. It was like,
for sure.
Do you guys ever, are you people at all who cry from relief?
Yes.
Not relief.
So not only did that like move me, because again, anything with Eleanor, just like it just stabs me. But then like the you could tell the way that Zoe acted it, the relief that she had, just it was infectious. I felt so relieved and happy for her.
No, it was really good.
Yeah.
So she was smiling because she felt the power, the one power. But she's also smiling probably because she broke it. Because you get elated, right?
Yeah.
You get some elation naturally.
No, her face said it all. It was a really good moment.
She's so beautiful. Oh my God. When she smiles, it's just captivating.
Yeah. And Dr. Gentek, you're right that there was a parallel between her and Leandrin, where Leandrin thought her child made her weaker and Nynaeve's made her stronger.
Yeah. You guys in chat.
Beautiful writing.
So
beautiful.
I'm going to start giving out freaking diplomas for psychology and shit.
I know.
We haven't talked about one thing this entire episode, even with the show only folks. Not that we could have talked about it with them because they wouldn't have known.
Okay.
We haven't talked about the Yashandari.
Oh yeah, we couldn't have talked about it with them because pointing it out.
They did not highlight it.
Pointing it out wouldn't have done shit for them. Yeah.
Although honestly, when Maggie was like, and then we were just on the ship, I wanted to be like, yeah, and we didn't see the Yashandari.
Yeah, exactly.
But that meant nothing. That would have meant nothing to her.
But
so.
I looked forward to my second watch and saw it. I was like,
yeah,
oh.
I love the fact that they put it in there pretty much in the same, almost the same way that it was in the books, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't even freaking highlight it. They didn't highlight it. They didn't point to it. They didn't make a fuss about it. It was just there. Mm-hmm. I saw it only because when he came out and he was hanging, I had already been thinking about where the hell are they going to hang him from? Right?
Yeah, right.
And so when they came out and he was hanging, my eyes immediately went up and I was like, son of a... Oh. And then they cut away and I was like, damn it.
Yeah.
No, that's observant of you. I went... Yeah. I didn't even... Okay, this is how bad I am. I was like...
Oh, you got the thing? Nah.
I was so fixated on the fact that Matt like wasn't remembering things that I didn't even see the fox head medallion.
Really?
And it was literally like 1/3 of the screen. Well, yeah, because I was like, oh my gosh, can he not? What's this amnesia thing? I was just
he had that in the books, but it was before he went to Tarvalon, right? He was missing
the books,
memories in the books before he went to Tarvalon.
Yeah,
I think is why he went back so they could help him.
Yeah.
But here they've kind of done it backwards.
Yeah, I'm so curious about that.
So, but here's the thing, though. There was a big, and I'm sure other people caught this. I'm not saying that I caught this myself, but Alviarin literally tells Elida, "You can't trust the Aelfin," which means that the one in the tower goes to the Aelfin, not the Eelfin.
Right. So why does Elida have a bracelet?
Well, that's probably something that she got from them, just like Matt got a necklace. But they were also saying that she had that bracelet. Now, somebody was saying online that they had that bracelet back when Morghese was getting.
So maybe she went to the Eelfin also.
No, not that. I think that Alviarin also mentioned that other sisters have gone in there and never come back. I think Elida had been in there multiple times.
You can't, though.
I don't know if that key gives her access to go in and out. I don't know what the deal is, but she looked at the key kind of funny coming out of it. But she already had that bracelet 10 years prior to that.
Huh. So, key on it. The key was...
I don't think it had the key. You're right. So the key might be new. But I don't know. I think she may have gone in before that. But I could be wrong.
So and they're also speculating that it's continuity issue because of the writer's strike. And it would have been fixed if they were allowed to fix it or something. That it was just they used the wrong word.
They're saying the same thing about bitch too. Like people are saying
I've heard that
bitch was because of the writer's strike and they didn't go back and fix because they said it
a lot of things they couldn't fix.
Yeah. There was quite a lot of modern day foul language, which doesn't bother me. Everybody knows I don't have a problem with foul language. But
it just pulled me out one time.
It didn't feel right in the show.
Yeah.
It felt out of
place. People are saying that the key was there too. So.
Or was it? I wasn't sure. I hadn't.
So unclear why the bracelet.
Unclear.
Why?
Indeed.
Why? What the bracelet's vibe were.
Well, think about it. Wouldn't it be cool to ask for something that would allow her to go visit them again? And so
it's like you can't wish for more wishes, but that's essentially like what she did.
But she has a key to the door. Oh my god!
She has a key that lets her go back in more than once. That would be cool. I don't know.
I mean, I would hope so because I want to see more of them. That was my favorite thing.
Well, the thing is Elida didn't even go through the doors in the books, right? Like we had Matt do both, and then we had Rand and Moraine do the Aelfin.
Tyr. So the one in Tyr, right?
And somebody in the chat asked what the significance of the Ashendari is. The significance of the Ashendari is that it fulfills Matt's request to be able to get out of the realm of the Eelfin because it can slice through the walls. That's how he escaped in Towers of Midnight, if I recall. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
Well, he had a dagger that was made out of brass. No, he got out with the Ashendari. Because I know he got in with the dagger. He had to draw on the tower.
The thing. No, I think the Ashendari was how he escaped because they thought they were effed at the very end.
That's true.
Of that trek, and he was he figured it out. Like, wait, I asked for a way to leave, and how did this fulfill my wishes? It's my way to leave. Essentially, it was I think that's how it was concluded. He was able to get out.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you think there's a third door?
No.
A doorway, like in Tyr?
Where would it go? Unless that's their Tower of Genji, but I don't think it should be.
Unless the one in the tower I don't know, because I think Matt's Matt's memory loss is going to lead him to go back through the door, and he's going to go through another door, to try to fix that. And I think that's how he gets to the Aelfin. So I think we're going to get Matt going through a second time. I just don't know when, because who knows how long they're going to milk this amnesia shit on the show.
Right.
We're like, yeah, that one was a stumper for me. And in my mind, I thought like, okay, so Matt did have holes in his memory, so that's like not totally new, and they got filled by the memories of others. But that's what he was trying to get rid of here, and so now I'm just not sure if there will still. Yeah, I don't know, like if he'll have memories.
What did they say? He said, you have other people's memories going through your mind. We can fix that. And he said, you can fix me. Done. Like he asked it as a question, but they took that shit as a statement, and they said done before he could finish. So maybe that's it. He's because he said he literally forgot how they got in there or why he was there, which is mind boggling to me. Because you're right. It is confusing. I was a little bit lost for that.
Although the way that they did that, where it was like done and the whole world
so good.
Vibrated, that was cool.
So when he entered the door frame, we saw all these like bones and skull and the music, the whole vibe. It reminded me of when Nynaeve went through the door frame and she saw the red, and she's in the red Aja and she's falling, and the music was weird. The way they shot the scene, it just was very eerie, like very out of control. Like you have no control of what's happening around you, kind of moment.
Yeah. Can somebody in chat, and maybe you all can remember this, because for some reason I have a thought that I remember something in the books about the old wisdom punishing the kids by making them go into a fox den. Is that accurate, or is that, it might just because Matt literally says it reminds me. He brought it up. He goes, it reminds me of the old fox den by the old wisdom's house. Or shack. It was full of dead things. But I can't remember if that was one of the punishments from the books. So if anybody in chat can remember that, please either correct me or let me know. I'd appreciate it. I'd have to go look it up again. But for whatever reason, it struck a chord with me that he said that, and I was like, that sounds really familiar. Like I can remember something about a punishment, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
Huh. Oh, somebody's asking, is this from the Egwene prologue? And Raven something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll have to go look.
Yeah. Thank you for the sub, Riley Huxtable, by the way. Appreciate you. And Ali Void also 36 minutes ago. Appreciate you. I don't remember the Fox then. Not me. All right, y'all. We have gone past my bedtime here.
Yes.
Never fear, those in the chat. We do intend to come back in 2 weeks to give you our official and definitive episode rankings from season 3. You've already been spoiled on Tav's favorite, if you were paying attention.
Oh yeah, listen, don't pay attention to me.
But I know Winespring and I at least are planning to rewatch the entire
binge
season,
it.
so we can pick and choose our absolute favorite episodes without having to worry about shooting reaction videos, taking screenshots, nothing. We're just going to
turn the lights off, Kritter, so you can see it all.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yes. I will. So be back here in 2 weeks for that live stream. And then after that, we're planning to do kind of like character breakdowns, right? So we'll have an episode about Rand and what we've seen so far from Rand and what we expect to see going forward based on what we've seen. And we'll bring in other, hopefully, Wheel of Time fans who have read the books, so the speculation can be based on things from the books. We've had a ton of fun bringing in show-only people, and that's been a blast, and I am now really excited also to get the opinions of some fellow book readers too, so it should be really, really fun. You are going to get an overall season review from me personally on this channel. I have to write a script and everything, so I'm just gonna guess that one's gonna take me about a month, but you'll see it when it comes out. So if you hit the bell for notifications, you'll definitely see it. So that's something that you might consider. Don't forget to like the stream, by the way, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And we're going to do final sign-offs now. So Winespring, why don't you do yours?
Okay, final thought is, I'll keep it specific to the episode. I love the Fen. I have been really, really hoping that we would see them and they'd be weird and uncomfortable and creepy and just next level, and I really feel like they delivered. I love that we have the one there, and we have the creepy imagery around them, and the vibrating of the camera, the voice, the costume, the shoes for sure. Everything. I think they nailed it. I don't know how or why we would get more, but I would be okay with it. So like, however we can get more of the Finn, the better. Yeah. So A++++++ on the Finn.
Okay. Nice.
I love that. Tavern?
Final thoughts. Eat Winespring's food. Go get stuff from Kritter's merch store. And I've got some new stuff out. I also have some Wheel and Chill specific things that I put on Redbubble, not on Zazzle, because I think other than the mugs, I'm going to move stuff out of there, since nobody really goes to Zazzle unless they're looking for a mug. So I'm going to move some of our merch over off of that. But yeah, a lot of new stuff on the store. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, and the link to Tav's store is in the description of this video, so check that out. Thank you all for bearing with us during our initial technical difficulties. I'm super pleased that the stream has gone off without a hitch. Now that I'm single streaming straight to YouTube, so maybe I'll do that from now on. Who knows? Thank you so much for being here in the chat. It has been an absolute pleasure having you all along for the ride with us during our show-only streams about the Wheel of Time Season 3, and I'm sad it's over, but, you know, it's about the friends we made along the way, right? So, and the cookies crumbling, or something like that. So I am super, super, super pleased with this season. It was Mr. Kritter's favorite by far, and I love to see him enjoying it, right? Because he was a little soft on the first couple, so
Nice.
It's only going up from here, and I'm super hyped about that. So, again, thank you. Everybody have an amazing night, and we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yay!
Bye.
Bye.